Hello, everybody, and welcome to Fates Foretold. I am J. Lawrence Kenny, your game master for the evening. These are the Forget-Me-Nots, all six of them over there and down there, I think. And welcome to Curse of Strahd, Terra, episode 11?
11.
It should be
Episode
12,
11.
but whatever.
It's 11, David.
So last time on Terra, the Forget-Me-Nots have made their way to the tower at Lake Baratok, having just found some very interesting information that was attempted to be hid, but very poorly, and subsequently noticed and passed around the information that they had found a tome that had once belonged to the devil Strahda, the ruler of Barovia, as well as a page from the Journal of Van Richten, which mentioned some not very nice things that he did in his past. Although currently I believe only Ashai and Ireena are aware of its contents. They spend the night at the tower, during which time a traveler very early in the night came begging for sanctuary. The party ignoring him, assuming it was a trap. He left. The rest of the night was spent uneventfully, other than translating the first entry in the Tome of Strahda, which was written in some kind of cipher, which seemed to mention her very first days within Barovia after conquering it. In the morning, the party left the tower, ransacked the secondary wagon that was outside of the tower, which was booby-trapped to hell and would have exploded with literally hundreds of flasks of alchemist's fire. But thankfully, Rictavio, the bard that was helping them try and track down Van Richten, managed to find an alternate way into it. They ransacked it, stole everything of value from within it, and then left. Along the way back to the town of Vallakovich, they saw a corpse in the road, which looked very similar to the man from the last night, although it was very dark and hard to tell if it's the exact same person. But its presence heralded an ambush by a number of wolves, which seemed unwilling to parley even speak with animals, seemingly under the influence of some other person or creature. Afterwards, the druid tried to talk to the tiger that is in the back of Rictavio's wagon, at which point he got frustrated and upset that the party was prying into his personal business, as he said that he was not prying into theirs, and summarily said that he was going to terminate their relationship as soon as they got back to Vallakovich. And as the party began making their way back to Vallakovich, I believe that is where we will pick up. So, the rest of the road back to Vallakovich is slightly tense. Rictavio keeping probably a few dozen paces ahead of you all in whatever frustration he might be having at the moment. So what are you all doing while on the road to Vallakovich?
I think I was walking next to Ireena. I gave you your shirt back, right?
Did you?
I think so.
Okay, then I guess I put my shirt back on.
Oh yeah. One thing while talking to said tiger, we found out that Van Richten or Rictavio or whoever who he says he is has been using the tiger to hunt down people and kill them.
Pretty sus.
I don't think the tiger said anything about actually killing people, but essentially,
No. Well, he said he hadn't got to fully or something. Like he said he sometimes lets me sniff clothing or whatever to hunt down individuals or something.
something like that.
Yeah. Which, yes, is very sus. And that's where he kind of stopped me talking to the tiger.
He hates
Oh.
people.
So if I'm walking next to Ireena, I will Shy, where are you?
Probably near the back of the group.
Okay. Well,
She's
carefully
rogue, who knows?
pull out the holy symbol and show it to Ireena and be like, "This is the spider."
Ah, and that's why she had to evacuate.
Yeah. Pretty.
All right.
Quickly.
If you're going to keep it on you, you need to make sure you're a distance away from her.
Well, it's only if she sees it, so I will keep it hidden.
Wonderful. Good that we have a holy symbol, though.
Yeah, and just in case, I guess, if anything does go wrong.
I know, okay, I know. We have an extra one.
Was making a face.
We got two now.
We haven't tested the other one yet.
Yeah, because she's been nice so far. She didn't
We
give
have
me a
one that's
reason to.
disposable, at the very
Yeah.
least.
It's like, just, I
Mine
guess,
is nice.
if anything, something happens with her, we at least have a way to keep her back if we have to.
That may come in handy. Make sure you keep it safe on you.
I will be shoved back in my pocket.
It's secret. Safe.
Keep it secret. Keep it safe.
Oh, and we found a map that had areas X'd out on it.
A map
I heard-
in...
In the
wagon.
wagon.
Okay.
So everything is in the chest. We haven't really, and the chest is on the back of the wagon for now. So we'll have to wait till we get to either the Vistani camp or Vallaki.
Can I ask you why you kept the chicken?
Oh, I mean,
Aster's
Aster has the
holding the
chicken
chicken.
now.
Aster's holding the chicken.
Just petting the chicken.
I was like, literally just...
Talking to it.
Fucking chicken.
No, I'm not talking.
I just
Oh, right, you're
point to
not
Aster. Like, he seems happy. Also, you can get eggs from chickens, and like
You
it's,
can get eggs
know.
from any keep in the area. There's no reason why we need to keep a live animal on us.
I mean, technically, there's multiple live animals here on us, but
Okay, you know what I mean. A pet is what I mean. We don't need a pet.
Not Gigi. Gigi's a cat in my other campaign. Shit. Well, Ziggy's dead though.
I'm not leaving a chicken in a cage in something that might blow up.
That's
Fine,
fine.
this is not...
I once heard a tale. What long ago?
Prospero!
Oh, I
by
went
the
like
way,
you jumped like 2 feet. That's where I was.
Aster drops the chicken.
You know, you take to the drink so well, I didn't think you would wake up from this one.
Well, I almost didn't want to, but that's another story for another time. Anyway, I once heard a tale when I was sailing across the seas that there were tribes that worshipped a chicken god of sorts, but it was a normal chicken. I don't know what the semantics of it was, but it was one chicken that held an almighty deity inside of it. Who's to say that this chicken can't be a deity?
Aster picks up the chicken and holds it above his head.
You hold the chicken above your head. It just kind of like looks around.
Well, what is a god but a creature with a franchise?
This chicken has turned into Hey Hey.
Clara, I didn't know. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna ignore that one. I don't have time to
You
unpack
know,
all of
religion
that.
is just a cult with a franchise. Gods are powered by belief. You know, it just depends on what you believe in, and what you believe in is a big fucking chicken, then I guess good for you.
But wouldn't that be a
don't know.
following rather than a
My
franchise?
business. I don't know. Semantics. I studied faith, not literature. Sorry.
Question, is there capitalism in Barovia? Like, is that...
Oh god.
It depends on if we take over any of the towns. I mean,
Okay. Is this what you need?
You all
I guess yeah, we're heading back.
are on the... Mhm.
As we're walking, Raina just like keeps taking out that piece of paper, the journal entry, reading it over, and then like sticking it back in her pocket, and then it'll bother her again. She brings it back out and reads it over again, and then puts it back in her pocket because it's just too similar. It's just so similar to what happened to her.
I think at some point Ireena notices. She'll come up beside you and just what's on the paper?
It's a journal entry, I guess, from Van Richten. It's about him slaying a bunch of Vistani. It's just bothering me.
I can imagine. Makes it seem like maybe Lady Strahda had the right of this at least.
Maybe. I know that she told us that he doesn't like the Vistani, and I guess this kind of explains why.
I mean, I suppose that's 1 point for Lady Strahda and 1 point away from Van Richten.
In what way?
As far as who's trustworthy.
I guess so. No matter what, we have to complete this task that she's given us. You understand that? We have to find Van Richten. We have to bring him back.
How quietly are you two having had this conversation?
Not quiet.
Well,
Far enough away that that Rictavio.
Rictavio can't hear, yeah.
He said it.
As Ireena is saying, this makes Strahda more
Confirmed! Gotcha!
Did it, baby!
We're literally
as-
talking about Van Richten.
Ireena is saying that this makes Strahda look more trustworthy. Terra glances back and she's like, you know, from what I've heard, Strahda's a very old individual. People like her, they will do anything they can to hold on to their power. They will lie, they will manipulate. We can't trust her until we know why we're here, why her and her family are fighting over us.
And, you know, all of us have died by one of her family.
They wanted us dead for a reason. I don't think we should trust them.
Clara, what are you saying? That we
I'm saying that we can go along with this and be friendly with her. Don't antagonize her. I don't want us to follow her blindly. I don't want us to trust her. I don't think that is the right way. I don't think it's worth it.
And what evidence do you have to back that?
We all were killed by her family.
We all were killed by her family.
Not by
we all
her.
were brought her here
Not by
for a
her.
reason.
I was literally killed by someone that was instructed to take me out because I took something from her. Without knowing I took something from her.
Well, that sounds like a you problem, honestly. If you took something
Sounds
from
like
her.
an anger management problem.
If I told Clara to stab you, am I still implicit in the stabbing?
Did I do something?
Regardless of if you did something or not.
I think if I did something and there was a reason for me to be stabbed and you told someone else to stab me so you couldn't get your hands dirty, I think that's fine.
Just because you've done something, does it always warrant death?
Well, look at you all. You're all back alive now, so I think it's fine.
So, do you think it's fine that the Burgomaster of Vallaki is doing what he's doing just because he thinks it's the right way to do things?
I didn't say a single thing about the Burgomaster of Vallaki.
No, but the analogy still fits. Because if he's not directly involved and it's his word telling someone else to do it, and he is putting people in the stocks or whatever because they technically did something wrong according to what he said. But he's not always right. So, Lady Strahda can be the same way.
Personally, I don't live in Vallaki, and what happens there is none of my business.
No. I don't live there either, but I care about children and people that are being mistreated.
Raina's gonna roll her eyes and kind of walk off from the group in a huff.
Master's gonna follow you.
Keep an eye on both of them.
The chicken's on my head, by the way.
I look over.
Out of the cage?
Mm-hmm. I was holding the chicken.
I look over at Second Chance and I go, oddly enough, she's starting to sound a little bit more crazy than the actual vampire that we have in the party.
Do I hear you say that?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. You're all kind of like there.
I'm gonna walk over to both of you.
There too, because me and Chance were agreeing.
Like, look. Can we keep it down about what I am? It is no one's business, and we are in mixed company.
I haven't said anything about you, and I don't want to say anything about you. I have the spider hidden away for a reason.
Don't mention it again.
And Clara will kind of whisper this to the people who are around her, to Prospero and Ishai and Chance. All I'm saying is that this land is sick. There's something wrong here. Strahda is in charge. I don't know if she did it. I don't know if she's responsible. We don't know enough yet to trust her.
I agree.
Then how can we find out more?
Don't follow blindly.
That's
Play
not-
it.
We have the book.
We can go along
have-
with these missions for now. We can bring our quarry to her and be friendly. Play her game.
If we can
I just-
find
Just want everybody to be on guard. Don't think it's going to end well.
We are.
We should definitely find someone that can help us translate that book.
Doing just fine by myself.
I mean, we weren't awake. I don't know what. It's like, oh, what did y'all learn? Because yesterday
I feel
we
like
couldn't
we
figure
told
out it.
everybody.
I think in the morning you
Definitely
guys
showed it to
yeah, we
Aster.
did.
Yeah. Wasn't keeping
Okay, sorry.
it is there in the journal.
Okay, yeah, sorry. I'm sorry.
The as you guys are finishing this up, Aster and Raina, did you want to do anything over there? Aster's just following Raina with a chicken on his head.
I just made it a clear point that I'm staying very close to Raina, given everything that happened the night before. So
Raina's gonna look down at Aster and say, the chicken is stupid.
You have
You
to
realize
make chicken.
you're the one that has to take care of that thing, right? Okay, as long as you know.
I'm like, put the chicken back on my arms. I'm holding it.
Literally, like dealing with a small child. Like, okay, you can have a chicken, but you have to take care of it.
I'm gonna lose the chicken at some point.
Have
I'll be
to
so
Yeah,
sad.
you are.
eat it and clean
And
up.
that's gonna be just like
We gotta name the
very-
chicken.
I'm not there.
there. But
I was gonna say-
I thought Aster was gonna say, "You're stupid."
He's he's nonverbal right now. He's not talking.
He's
by
like,
the way.
yeah, still a little shocked.
He learned. We learned last session how long he's been dead, and that's why.
Oh
he is
yeah,
nonverbal.
yeah.
About 200
He's been dead
years.
for 200 years, so he's kind of shut down after that.
Yeah. We've got 2,000 years, 500 years, 200 years, 50
Is it
years.
Too
7
soon to name the
years.
chicken after my caretaker, or you know,
Oh,
I mean, if you think he's dead.
do
Oh,
it.
that'd be
it's my
cute.
coping strategy.
Yeah,
And then I lose the
I
chicken.
this is your
and
dad now.
Oh
Yeah,
god.
I
my
just-
dad.
I just want to know if you kick the chicken, does a swarm of chicken come and kill you? Or if you throw a chicken at
Let's not
someone?
find out. Maybe.
Nobody's
Yes.
kicking my chicken. Nobody's kicking my chicken. Sorry. I'll stop.
Throughout all of this, you all eventually start to see the city of Vallakovich again in the distance as you all proceed down the path. You do know that the Vistani camp and the other small settlement is just before Vallakovich if you wanted to stop before you got to the town.
I would like to.
Yeah, I guess we should.
I do wonder if. Actually, I didn't tell anybody.
Octavia does still have a box.
I will. I guess we'll stop and take the box from him, and be like, we're gonna. No. If we're gonna stay in the Vistani camp first, because he's heading back to Vallakovich, right?
Yep. He'll undo the strap and let you take the box away.
I will tell him, like, I'm sorry I butted in on your business. I was just curious.
Understand. Trust is something hard to come by in Barovia, so it is not forgotten, but it is forgiven.
Maybe we'll see you in Vallakovich. Hopefully.
If you're still staying at the inn, then I'll be there, so best of luck in whatever endeavors you have. And if you do have any interesting stories to share, feel free.
I help him take the chest off, and then I guess.
He just gives a curt nod and kicks the mule and heads back into the town.
I will turn to the rest of the group because I don't think I told everybody this. I don't think anybody saw it either. The kid, Arabelle, knew things about me.
What kind of
What
things?
does that mean?
I don't know. It was. She said I needed to stop running.
Maybe she had some kind of gift of prophecy. Madame Eva did.
Like, I didn't feel any malice or anything from it, but it was really weird. I kind of want to talk to her again.
Don't see why not. I don't think it could hurt.
Ask her if she
And-
knows where Van Richten is.
I mean, she may be able to help us.
Lead is a lead. Go.
All right, that's up to the house on the hill, right?
Well, so you take the side path away from Vallakovich to the south, to the small copse of trees just south. The one hillock that dominates this area, there are a number of more permanent houses that are in a very different style from the Barovian domiciles that you've seen before. That those are where one of them is the house of the carpenter that you went to for your staff. On top of the hill, there is like a very stereotypical Vistani camp. You can see some tents set up and a small ring of wagons. They're sort of like coexisting in the same area, but they're not like living together.
Mm-hmm. And we saw Arabelle go up to that
Yes.
house, right? Yes.
Mhm.
I guess we'll go knock on the door?
I don't think there's doors around these parts.
I don't know. If it's a
Knock
house
on the
that has a
frame.
door.
I'm sure we could just walk up to the closest Vistani.
There's a. You guys have been walking for, say, about half the day. It took you to get here, considering travel time. So it's a little afternoon. You can see some of the Vistani are like awake and walking about at the top of the hill. You see another of the robed and cowled figures that take notice of you at like the base of the hill. You wanted to go to the top of the hill and talk to the Vistani, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
You walk past the cowled figures who they don't like give you any dirty looks or anything. If anything, they look maybe curious as far as you can tell from their body language. Up to the top, you see there's a few of them walking around. The atmosphere is a little tense. You just get from just like your natural senses. There's the Vistani are talking in like hushed whispers. You see one of them like dashes past you out of the camp.
Can I make a perception check to see if I can hear what they're saying?
Yeah, sure.
Or sorry, could you make one for me? I apologize. I'm not on. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, no. Let's see. Where are you? Second chance. Lovely little perception check. I think you're far away enough that you only hear a few things. You hear some people talking about one of them's like, go in. You have to be careful not to get caught by the guards, but just go into the sneak into Vallaki and look. Maybe she might be at the orphanage.
Oh shit. I'd like to.
Another would say like she's never been out all night.
I'll stop the group. Like I think Arabella might. Arabelle might be missing.
Reyna's gonna walk up to the group that's speaking, and in Vistani, she's just gonna go, "Is everything all right?"
They turn to you. There's a second of them like recognizing your clothes essentially, but at the same time maybe a little bit of like they don't know you personally. But one of them, he's a fairly well built Vistani. He has brown hair that's looks like he maybe didn't take a bath for a few days. A little wide eyed. Looks at you and yes. Wait, you were Arabelle's friends, right? You were the ones who came here with her the other day.
Yes.
Yesterday. I'm Livash. I'm Arabelle's uncle.
Okay. Is there something wrong with Arabelle?
She didn't come home last night. She often goes on walkabouts by herself, but she's never stayed out an entire night by herself before.
Was there anything odd last night that you noticed? Any noises or anything she said before you when you last saw her?
No more than usual. She looks around at the mixed company and says, "She's a very bright young girl, but It's a bit odd for most people. So nothing out of the ordinary, at least.
You said, to look for her at the orphanage. That's where we ran into her, but she's also friends with the kids at the inn.
I sent someone to see if they could go into Vallaki, but the guards are wary of us, and it makes it difficult to go about our business in town. They get very down our throats.
We could maybe look for you?
Would you?
Of course.
With what happened to her parents, I couldn't bear if something happened to her.
What happened to her parents?
I think it's a story for another time. Right now, I would very much appreciate you.
She's a child and she needs help. We will do our best to find her and bring her home.
Thank you. I know she spends time around the orphanage and the inn. I don't know where else in town, but maybe there might be some... I'll trust that you know Vallaki better than us.
Sure. We know a few areas of it, but that's really it. I just know where we ran into her before. Do we want to leave the chest here with them and not have to drag it around, or do we?
Ireena can stay back with them in the chest while you guys go in.
Sure, it's a town. How much? Well,
Just make sure you're quick with it. Go in there, look around.
Who was yelling at us about splitting the party?
Okay. I meant don't go off into danger by yourselves. You'll be fine.
Aster, leave the chicken with her.
Chance and Aster didn't think they were going off into danger.
Really? Really? They had
Aster.
no idea.
Aster, if Raina's staying, keep the chicken with her so that the chicken doesn't get in trouble.
I'm not a chicken babysitter.
What was that, Prospero?
This is the tank talking to the squishiest members of the party.
Yeah.
There's also a cat.
Oh.
All right. You give. You give her the chicken, and she keeps the chicken long enough that you'll leave.
If I come back and the chicken's gone, dead to me. Dead to me.
What if there's fried chicken available, though?
I'll stab you
Definitely.
even more.
Definitely dead to
Wow, this is great. This doesn't connect it until afterwards.
Maybe.
I lean over to Aster. Well, is Aster coming with us?
I think everyone is except for Reyna.
Okay. And all right.
Raina, can you
Got your back on this
ask
one.
about some of the... Sorry, go ahead.
I have got your back on this one. If something bad happens to the chicken, I'll help you out.
You can try.
You don't hear this.
Before we leave, I'll be like, Raina, could you possibly start getting information for the stuff that's in the chest? There's a lot of stuff in there.
Of course.
There's a map, too. I don't know if it has any significance, but there's areas crossed out that might be of importance.
Yes, I'll start figuring it out, asking around. Don't worry.
Okay. And we're off.
All right, you all run into Vallaki as quickly as. You guys run in to the gates. There's a small brief kerfuffle where the guards insist on their whole little checking your weapons and things to make sure that they know who you are and you have on you in case there's anything going on. But it doesn't take up that much time since you were here like literally yesterday.
We all have zip ties on our weapons still.
Peace tied, yeah, of course. You get into Vallaki very easily. We'll start first with Reyna, though. Do you want to check through all the things?
What did we check through?
None of it.
Have we looked at any of it? No. Okay.
No.
Yeah. She's gonna open Also, she's gonna take rope from her own goddamn backpack and tie off the chicken to like some pole or something so it doesn't get loose.
The chicken.
Or like figure out a way for her not to have to hold the damn chicken and for it to
The
also
cage
not
is still
go running
there.
loose.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
we have the
great.
cage.
Oh, okay. She's gonna put the chicken back in the
Yeah,
cage
you can
then.
put it in the cage.
You're like, fuck, they have the cage.
I don't want to hold this chicken.
The fucking chicken.
Fucking chicken.
The fucking chicken.
This is Boblin the Goblin. We just get a chicken instead of a goblin.
So the things that are in that everybody pulled from it, I'll say again real quick, is there's a trunk that you shoved like everything into that has a battle axe, a flail, a morning star, a light crossbow, and 10 silvered crossbow bolts.
Oh, we gave the crossbow to Aster.
Right.
I don't know if I took the bolts, so. Ooh.
There were 3 sets of fine clothes, 2 sets of traveler's clothes, several pairs of shoes, a harlequin mask, and 3 wigs. There was a climber's kit, a disguise kit, a healer's kit, and a poisoner's kit. A lyre with golden strings. The wooden cage with the chicken, and a silver ewer with 5 chicken eggs in it. A tiny wooden box wrapped in silk, which nobody's opened yet. I don't think you took the copper pots and pans. 3 sets of manacles, a shovel, a chest that had a symbol of the Morning Lord, 3 vials of holy water, 3 vials of perfume, 2 vials of antitoxin, 50 feet of rope, a tinderbox, a steel mirror, a sharpened wooden stake, and a spyglass, and 2 what looked like spell scrolls of some kind.
Was there not a silver dagger at one point?
The silver dagger was from the tower itself.
Okay.
And you
From
got the
loot
silver
pile.
dagger.
Yeah,
My
Chance
bad.
has the symbol of the Morning Lord, and
Yeah.
Clara
I
has the
was gonna
silver
say.
dagger. Yeah.
Okay.
I would like to take a look at that box wrapped in silk, please.
You
Well-
cannot. You are
You're
not
not
here.
You're not here.
Cannot?
Sorry.
It's with
That's-
Reina?
I
Yeah,
would like to
you left
take a
it
look
with
at that
Reina.
box wrapped with silk.
Are you doing this like with Livash nearby and the other Vistani, or are you like?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just wondering.
Yeah.
Because you unwrap the silk and you recognize the box almost immediately, and you open it up, and there is a very beautifully decorated set of Taroka cards.
Interesting. Reina's also gonna pocket one of the holy water vials.
Didn't we already split those up?
Did we? I don't know. That's why I asked you.
I don't think we did.
There was a chest that had a false bottom. Oh, this was the chest in the tower. There was a chest in the tower because those were 3 holy waters, a silver dagger, 3 the blood, and then 6 stakes. Each one of
Yeah.
us got
So this is a
stake.
different one,
Yes.
Yes.
Different
right?
stake, yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah,
yeah,
correct.
she's gonna pocket some holy water.
All right, you pocket the holy water. Since you're doing this right as in front of Livash, he looks over and is like, "When did you get those?"
We found them in an abandoned wagon, just outside of the Wizard's Tower. Do you recognize them?
He takes a look and says, I don't recognize them, no, but if you look here," and he like turns the box over, and inscribed on the inside of like the cover is written the name Ezmerelda.
Do you know this Ezmerelda?
Let me see. No, I can't say I've heard of that name, or not anyone specifically that would be in Barovia at this point in time, no.
Does Reina recognize the name Ezmerelda?
Go ahead and make a society check.
We live in a
Someone say it.
society.
Blind?
Yes, please. You think about it. There was a girl named Ezmerelda in your caravan, but she's obviously not around anymore, so it's probably someone else that happens to share the name.
Interesting. Interesting, DM. Reyna's gonna take the Taroko cards out and start shuffling them, just to have something to do with her hands and kind of putting the motion of it back into her hands after a long time. So, I just have a quick question.
Yes.
Do you happen to know the name Rudolf van Richten?
I'll do another roll for it. You see him immediately, just spit to the side. He's like, "So I've heard the name. It's responsible for an entire caravan's death."
Yes, I'm aware.
Not seen
John-
hide nor hair of him in quite some time.
Mm,
Well, I've
that was the
heard
next
that he might. I've heard that he might be in Barovia, but afraid I have not seen him, and he should be glad for it.
He should be glad for it. However, we are on the lookout for him. Just want to give him what's his, honestly. I think it's time for his demise.
If you bring Arabelle back, I promise you that I will have everyone in the caravan looking for him.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Smash cut to everybody spreading out through Vallaki. How are you guys looking for Arabelle or information about Arabelle?
I'll go to the end first.
I think
the end?
me and Aster can probably check out the orphanage and the church.
100%. 100%.
Okay.
So I'll drag Prospero to the inn. And Ashai, I guess. Unless y'all wanted to go elsewhere.
I'm not going to the church, so I will be following you.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Didn't get to go inside last time, so I won't go inside.
You don't have to drag me. Jeez.
Alright, so we'll start with Chance and Prospero going to the inn,
Oh, and Ashai.
and Ashai.
Yeah.
It's about midday, so the tavern is fairly empty. You can see the two the Wachter boys that you saw the other day that are laughing amongst themselves about something and day drinking, as young nobles are wont to do. You see the two kids are also running about under the watchful eye of their mother. She's quick to see the two of you and be like, welcome. Didn't see you last night. Everything all right?
Have you seen Arabelle?
I think she was in last night. No, I have not seen her today. Boys, have you seen Arabelle? They both jump up onto two of the chairs, stopping whatever game they're playing, and the older one says, "Yes, we were playing with Arabelle last night, and she said something very funny about she needed to go for a swim."
Do I remember the information about the lake that's nearby? I'm trying to remember what it was.
Yeah, probably. There's the lake, the enormous lake to the north of Vallaki.
Oh.
Maybe even an hour or two out of town by walking.
Did she mention where she was going for a swim?
No.
What time was that?
I don't know, sometime last night.
There's a lake not far from here. I'm pretty sure it was on that map we found too.
There wasn't anything on the map specifically, like writing-wise, but you did see it on the map.
Yeah. I thought it was one of the X'd out spots or something.
No, that was Lake Baratok. The
Okay.
Lake Zarovich. Lake Zarovich is the one just to the north of Vallakovich.
Okay. So never mind. But yeah, but I wouldn't have where just because where it was on the map.
Yeah.
I guess we should go look there.
Seems like a good idea.
Should we just wait for the others, or?
I mean, sure. You're leading the way here.
Well, no, I mean, like we split up because we can cover more ground.
I understand what your meaning is.
I do want to check the one thing before we leave. Can I go check the stocks that are right outside in the square, just to see if she may have gotten caught doing something not happy enough?
As you get the information, you leave out and look in, because it's right at the town square. You look at the stocks. There's a couple people in the stocks. An older man and an older woman. But no Arabelle in the stocks.
Okay. Still angry about the stocks.
Cut over to, I suppose Clara and Aster are going to the orphanage, you said?
E.
The church first, right? You said you want to go to church first.
I want to check them out both because I didn't get to go into the church last time, but we'll do the orphanage first because that's more important.
Okay. You run into the orphanage. It's literally lunchtime. So you just see a dozen or so kids that are eating something that doesn't look great, but is they're not complaining too much about what they're eating. You see food's food, and you see the headmistress look over as you two enter, and she says, hello again. Can I help you?
Hi, we don't mean to take up too much of your time. I understand you are busy, but have you seen Miss Arabelle today, the little lady from yesterday? The other day?
Arabelle, no, I have not seen her today. She stopped by yesterday for a bit, I think.
About what time? Did she say anything odd?
A little after lunch. It was the actual playtime for the kids, so I let her stay around for a bit. I don't think she said anything particularly odd or interesting, no. Maybe one of the kids heard something. And she looks around and where's Felix? And you see one of the older kids says, Felix is he is ill today. He was ill yesterday too. Did any of you play with Arabelle yesterday? And one of the kids is like, yes, I did. She's really good at hide and seek.
Well, that's not very good news for us.
Clara will look to what was the matron's name?
It was something that I can't recall at the moment.
Okay. Clara will just she'll look to the matron and she'll say just under her breath,
Arabelle didn't come home last night. We visited the Vistani camp on our way into town. Her uncle is very worried about her.
Her name is Claudia Belasco. She kind of like takes you away from the kids who are eating their lunch, and says, "That's terrible. I'm sorry. I wish I could be more help, but I'm not." She doesn't
No.
really talk to me that much.
It's not your job. You have your hands full here, but do you mind if I talk to Felix? I heal more injuries than illness, but we're trying to find out any information we can. She's too young to be on her own.
Sure. I mean, he's feeling ill, but it's actually make me a diplomacy check.
Okay. Pull up my character sheet. Oh, I'm trained.
She thinks about it, dithers for a moment, and then eventually says, "I'm sorry. He's very ill. I want him to get better, and I wouldn't want you to get sick from whatever it is he has. There are other children you can ask, but I think Felix is better off alone for the moment."
I understand. I am so sorry. Is it the cold or something like that? For children. I was never really good at curing disease. I was much better with injuries.
I'm not sure. I don't know. He fainted the other day, and
He got bit. It's vampires.
You are a healer.
She gets like really close and whispers even quieter. It's like, "We did just lose one of the children a couple nights ago. It was very sudden."
I'm so sorry. I am a cleric. I am a healer. Lady Pharasma, I don't have to ask anything about the Arabelle, but I could take a look at him. I'm not the most experienced, but I could at least take a look and try to see what's going on.
Make another diplomacy check.
Please. But consider this. Please.
She says, "Father Lucian, I was going to go to him, but I suppose if you are I don't know your deity, but if you are a healer, perhaps you could talk to him. Maybe I have him."
Serve Lady Pharasma. Specialty isn't healing and recovery.
I have him sequestered in the attic. Let me show you. She looks back and says, "All of you, stay here, finish your food, and if you finish everything, we will have an extra long playground time afterwards." They all half-heartedly cheer, and she leads you up through the building to eventually the attic. Ta-da! So many things to look at. Where are you? Sorry, I don't know if anyone can hear it, but there's a huge fireworks display going on behind me.
That's what's going on.
Yeah. I
Hear a little
I wasn't sure what it was until I realized it's a holiday weekend. So
I
It's
thought
the
you were just
fireworks
farting,
extravaganza! The extravaganza's begun!
I thought Jonathan was just gassy, so you know.
Not this time.
Gotta.
She leads you up to where the attic is, opens like the trapdoor, and just says, "He's up there. I have to make sure that the kids don't do anything, but I will trust that you will not overstress him and try and figure out what's wrong with him."
You have my word as a servant of Pharasma. I will do my best.
I will take that in the what it is offered as. Again, I don't know your god, but thank you. And she heads back down.
Beep, 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 beep.
The attic is very sparsely decorated. There's essentially just a few. There's boxes of things that are, you guess, overflow from the rest of the orphanage, and one small bed in the corner. In it, you see a small child who. The headmistress said that he fainted the last day, but he looks awake and alert at the moment, actually.
Hello there. You Felix?
Who wants to know?
My name is Clara. Your headmistress allowed me up here to see if I could try to help you feel a little better.
You see him. He seems to be like carving, like whittling at something, with what looks like a kitchen knife.
What are you making? It's beautiful.
The ground is covered in dust, and there's cobwebs in a lot of the corners. The window cracked open, and he says, "A doll."
Oh. I was never really any good at whittling. I cut my hands too much, but I like to knit. I like to make scarves and blankets and things. Helps to keep the hands busy.
What do you want? People don't come here unless they want something.
Oh, well, you are a very charming little boy. You are feeling ill. I do not like it when people feel ill because I'm a healer, so I want to help you feel better. But I also want to know what happened to you.
Make another diplomacy check.
What's in the attic? I know you said it was sparse, but
Just like a few boxes. There's really nothing else here other than dust and cobwebs, and this one bed that's apparently serving as this sick child's bed for the moment. What did you ask him again? Sorry.
I want to help you feel better. Can you tell me what happened to you?
He just kind of shrugs non-committally, and says, "I don't know."
don't he look like he has anything on his body? Like scars, scratches, bruises?
Make a perception check.
Sick. Sick.
You don't see anything immediately obvious on him other than the knife, which doesn't look like something a very small child should have. It looks very sharp.
Well, he'll learn.
What does the doll look like, though? Does it look like? Do we have any idea of what it looks like?
Doesn't look like much of anything yet.
Okay.
It's vaguely human-shaped at this point.
Clara will snap Ziggy onto her shoulder. She's like, I know you don't really trust me because I'm a stranger to you, but if you let me take a look at you, I'll let you hold my cat.
Ziggy is usually very nice and cuddly.
Sweet boy.
But as soon as you summon Ziggy and Ziggy looks at the kid, immediately like hisses, arches its back, and like all of its fur stands on end.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, goodbye. Okay, goodbye. Oh, goodbye. Okay. Okay, good night. Good night, Ghost. Go to sleep.
The kid just like glares at the cat.
Not the cat person, huh?
No. He like digs the knife into the doll a little harder. Both of you make me another perception check. Secret.
Try to do a medicine check.
You could make a medicine check too, yeah.
Assess his situation, see if he looks pale or faint or anything odd about him. Anything. I want to see if I can notice anything similar between him and Ireena when we first met her.
He does look very pale. You don't see any like bite marks on his neck. Maybe it looks like he could be sick. Aster, it's becoming more aware that this kid is not acting very childlike.
How does his knife work? Is it indicating a maturity in that skill, or is it like very much like playful? You know, like kids messing with things.
It seems almost like the kid is trying to, like, if the doll could be in pain, like he's trying to inflict as much pain in the doll as possible.
Okay, I pull Clara's clothes and point at what he's doing with the knife.
I'll take note.
If I take out my mirror, also, do I see anything?
Like looking at the kid's reflection.
Mm-hmm.
His reflection is in the mirror, yeah.
Okay.
Does the mirror have any magical properties in and of itself, or like, I know it gives you some abilities, but I don't know exactly.
It just says that it's a special object of symbolic importance, and that you treat with supernatural and power. It's a powerful tool. So it's a mundane type of item that you end up using for supernatural means.
Make me an esoteric lore check.
Okay. Bitch.
You're not sure. There's not much to go on at this point. Like, it's clearly not a vampire. At least you're at least sure of that.
Can I take a shot in dark though? Like, as a question.
Sure.
Am I getting any indication that this individual is not Felix, but like a shapeshifter of some kind?
He's possessed. I'm thinking he's possessed.
I'm thinking like imposter. Like,
I don't know if there's enough information for you to make even like a guess one way or another.
Okay, that makes sense.
There's as many monsters under the night sky as there are grains of sand on a beach.
Right.
Clara will say to Felix,
Well, I'm sorry we bothered you then. Can I ask just one question before we go?
Fine.
Your headmistress said you were playing with Miss Arabelle last night. Or yesterday. Do you have any idea where she might have gone?
No. Hopefully far away from here.
Why do you not
Her-
like her?
Her eyes see too much.
I understand. Well, I hope you feel better, alright? Take care of yourself and remember to rest.
He doesn't even nod, just watches you leave, still whittling, not even looking at the doll at this point.
Can I ask a weird question?
Of course.
What are his eye colors? Are they the same? Are they different? Are they weird?
Make one more perception check.
Okay.
Let's see. They both look brown, but in the mirror, you see one of them has like sort of yellow tinge to it.
Werewolf.
Only one of them has yellow tinge to it?
Yes.
As we're walking away, I still have my mirror out because that's how I noticed it. I grab Clara again and I point to the mirror.
She'll put a hand over her mouth for a second, meet eyes with Aster, and then just nod, and they'll descend the stairs. And once they're out of earshot of the boy,
It doesn't seem like a normal illness to me. I think we should go talk to this Father Lucien. Maybe he could help us.
Aster's starting to like take notes on the child.
I love him so much. And then we'll say our goodbyes to the headmistress and just walk across the street to the church to wait for the other half of the party.
She'll say, before you go, did you find anything wrong with him?
How old was he?
Like 5, 6.
Seems rather... Is he always that grumpy?
No, he used to be such a nice boy. I don't know. I just chalked it up to he was feeling ill and upset because of it.
I wrote down really quickly and I point to Clara, like, is not acting 5 at all.
He seems rather mature for his age. I was very impressed. This old behavior start when he was sick?
A few days ago.
I see. Well, I'm sorry I couldn't do anything more to help. I wanted to stop by the church anyway. Father Lucien, you said, correct?
Yes, he's the father of St. Andros Church, yes.
Well, perhaps we can send him your way. I think I might want to have a word with him anyway.
He should be in the church as always. If you have trouble finding him, you can look for Milivoj. He used to be a child here in the orphanage, but he grew up, and then he works for the church now. He's sort of the caretaker of the grounds, so he might know where the father is if you can't find him.
Well, thank you so very much. We'll get out of your hair now.
Thank you. All right, who wants to go outside and play? All the kids run outside. You walk outside. I think probably about the same time that the other group comes back looking for you.
We didn't get attacked at all.
I found out something interesting about Arabelle.
I found out something interesting about one of the children in the orphanage.
Huh.
You go first.
Yeah.
There's a boy, about 5 years old, named Felix. couple days ago, he fainted, started getting sick. He's not acting 5. One of his eyes looked a bit strange in Aster's mirror. So, I don't know what you think, buddy, but I think we have a possession on our hands, or there is something vampiric preying on him. I don't know. I wanted to talk to the father in the church, see if he had any thoughts about it.
Well, you said he had a reflection, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he had the reflection, but his eyes were not right.
I point on the paper and I'm pointing it to Chance that they were yellow. One of them was yellow.
Do I have any knowledge of maybe any of this? I don't know. Would I?
You could make. I think this would be a religion check or an occultism check. You're not trained in either.
I have nothing in neither of those now.
Then now that we're thinking about it and analyzing the information, can I do a religion check on the eyes?
Yeah, sure.
Blind?
Yes. There's a bunch of different things that could cause like different eye colors, but like trying to put it all together, possession does seem the most likely thing going on here, rather than like shape-shifting or werewolves. Possibly, given the severe emotional state change, probably some kind of demon. But
Child's got demons in him.
kid's haunted.
Taunted.
That boy ain't
It's
right.
haunted.
Are we sure the kid's haunted, or it's just not a regular child? Because I've had some very strange run-ins with children. They're just normal.
So we talked to the kids at the inn, and they said Arabelle said that she needed to go for a swim last night. There's a lake nearby up north.
Is this different from the lake that we were just at?
Yes.
Something got into Felix. Maybe something got into her. Could be connected.
We should go look at the lake, I think, and hope for the best.
We should get Ireena first.
Should. I want to talk with the people of the church, see if they have any idea on who or what could be causing this before we go.
Yeah, we should tell Arabelle's uncle too, because they should be able to go to the lake, no problem. It's not inside Milwaukee.
You going to the church first?
The church is like 10 feet away, so yeah.
I will stay out with the shy.
You walk toward the church, which is just across the street. Is Shy is staying out at the church, or?
Yeah, I think, right?
I like start walking with them and stop a good like 30 feet.
It's a good thing you do. Even at 30 feet, you can feel this pressure from the grounds of the church.
Damn!
Oh no!
Kind of, like a forbidding ward almost. The very presence of the church is making you feel a little queasy.
Chance will take her hand.
You're fine.
Chance will take Shy's hand and be like, "Hey, I need to show you something," just to kind of like keep suspicion away from her, if anybody's watching.
Oh yes. Find Ireena. Go tell her what we
yes,
found.
I think it would be best if I met you there.
I am going to turn around, kind of look at Shy, kind of look at back at the group.
Do we trust these two alone?
Just the spider's hidden away, don't worry.
Which two are you referring to? Me and Chance, or Aster and Clara?
No, like I feel like we're.
Yes.
Are we not sending you to go collect Ireena and inform her and update her and such?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
While we talk to the father.
Something happened when
I'm
I was
sure they
passed
won't
out
do
in the back of
anything
the
else.
wagon. Something happened when I was passed out in the back of the wagon where they're just now besties. Like,
Oh, we are not besties.
Not besties.
right then.
Mutual
probably-
respect?
Shy just like,
No one knows anything. Like, no one, right? Like, it's not like we told them we talked.
But it's more if, like, anybody in Vallaki is watching and someone is, like, repelled by the church. It's more
No.
giving
I'm speaking to Danny's suspicions.
Oh, okay.
You're not there now, are you?
I'm giving you information from when you were gone.
Thank you. Would you rather me stick around, or would you like ask her to go with her and escort her back? You got to check on the chicken.
I'm going to, if Aster's going back with her, I'm going to go up to Aster and, without letting it be seen, slowly pass the holy symbol over to you.
I put it in one of my many pockets. So.
Okay. Only use it if you need to.
Am I going with a Shy then?
apparently.
Okay.
Go check on your chicken. Make sure Ireena didn't cook it.
I attempt to hold your hand as we walk away.
I let you hold my hand.
Yes!
Aww.
It happened.
She's not acknowledging it though.
Oh, please.
Oh, of course not.
Soft rap.
Is this one of the things where, like, I'm holding your finger? Is like, are you holding my whole hand?
I feel like you grabbed like a few of her fingers, and she's just like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, whatever. The other three of you go up to the church. It's much larger than the one in Barovia. Not quite like ostentatious, but definitely Vallaki is a larger town than Barovia. And so the church is larger. There's also a very large graveyard, rather than behind it, off to the left of it. You don't see anybody outside other than some birds, the ever-present clouds in the sky, maybe promising some rain later. You can see there are some candles on inside through the windows. You walk into the insides are just as fairly opulent as it seems on the outside. The steeple in the back goes up much higher than the one in Barovia. There's a thin mist that you see creeping through the graves outside. In the back, you see an older man, very, very old, really. Probably the oldest person you've seen in Barovia, in a cassock, who is kneeling in front of the altar and seemingly praying.
I'll wait for him to finish his business, because that would be rude to interrupt. Unless he goes on for, like, forever.
No, he doesn't take too terribly much time. Eventually, he stands up and turns around and almost seems like surprised. Oh, hello. I'm so terribly sorry I did not know you were here. Father Lucian, at your service. How may I help you?
Oh, hello, Father. My name's Clara. I came here looking for you, actually. I have a couple of questions about the concerning situation at the orphanage.
Oh yes, of course, my dear. Please, come sit. And he just sits in one of the pews, and invites you to sit down next to him.
Mm-hmm. I'll introduce the rest of my friends and be like, I'll tell him the situation about Felix, how it didn't seem right, and be like, we suspect there might be a possession. You know of any demons or creatures that lurk around these parts, or might have any connection with the lake? Because I think the little lady is also possessed.
You explain the whole situation and your suspicions, and he just like furrows his brow as he listens very, very closely, and then makes a symbol over himself that you recognize as like a symbol of the Morning Lord. It's sort of like making the symbol of a sun over his forehead, and he says, "Oh, that sounds terrible, terrible. Yes, I will pray to the Morning Lord about this. The things that you have mentioned sound terrible indeed. I am not familiar with any kind of possessions. You could perhaps try bringing the child here and see if the hallowed ground will set the possession free, but I don't know."
Well, I think first we are going to look for Miss Arabelle. We've heard it said and we've seen it that she sees more than most people do, so perhaps, I know she is young, but she may be able to give us an answer as well. Do you know, urgency, she's a child on her own, we need to bring her home.
Oh, yes, of course. I will see if I can talk to the headmistress about this. He gets like shakily up on his old knees.
I help him.
I
help him.
Thank you very much. Thank you. You
Work
hear
with
a
old
small
people.
voice from behind you say, "Father Lucian, Milivoj is still in bed. I will get to his chores as soon as I can." You turn and see also a very young boy, maybe a little bit older than Felix, 7, 8, in a small cassock, looks like an altar boy, essentially. Father Lucian says, he's kind of like, does the thing where he just like, "I'll have to tell that boy can't be running off on work like this." And
Milovich, he was one of your... He's a caretaker here, is he not?
He was one of the orphans, right? He used to be at the orphanage.
yes. He eventually became old enough that he no longer needed the services of the orphanage, and he works for the town and the church. Sometimes works with the gravedigger, and then he contributes most of his earnings to the orphanage as well. He's a very good young boy.
Could we maybe talk to him?
He's fallen ill as well.
The boy, Lucian says, "Yes, God, see if you can get Milivoj up." And he.
Oh wait,
Yeska,
was he pale? Was he faint? Has his demeanor changed at all?
No kind of changes in his demeanor. I assume that he is trying to get out of work, or maybe he just overworked himself.
Could we talk to him? Because if he does work at the orphanage, maybe he's heard something, or maybe Arabelle or one of the kids told him something.
The young boy looks up and says, "I suppose you could try, but he's not very responsive. I tried to wake him up, and he's just keeps sleeping."
Vampire.
Maybe he just needs a good roll out of bed. Can you show us?
Vampire.
Father Lucian says, "If you insist, yes, go show them where Milivoj is. I have to prepare for the ceremonies tonight." And he nods and shows you to another part of the church. There's a small room And Yeska takes out a small key and like unlocks the door and lets you in. Small room, very sparse, very similar to the priest's and Barovia's room, or rather the room that the Barovian priest's son stayed in. Very sparsely decorated, like a cabinet, a bed, in which you see this probably like 19, 20-year-old boy with black hair, severe features, looking to all the world like he's unconscious, dead on the bed. Although you can see like very light breathing, the rise and fall of his chest.
I go over and poke him.
There's no response whatsoever.
I want to inspect and see if it looks like there's any acts of vampirism that have been on him.
Make a medicine check.
Is he cold to the touch? Because I'm shaking him. Is he moving, waking?
He's on holy ground, so
you can make a medicine check.
I don't know why I did that blind.
It's not cold to the touch. Not pale. He has a fever, and is sweating. I'm sorry, I lied. His skin has got kind of like a yellow tinge to it almost.
John.
But you don't think this is
Jaundice.
Werewolf.
Goblin.
Jaundice.
You looking at it though, you don't get the sense that this is like a physical malady. This seems magical in nature.
We sent the mirror away with Aster. Magic cirrhosis.
Okay.
It's not showing the same symptoms as Felix though. There's different symptoms.
There's no like injuries or anything?
No sign of any bite marks or anything.
Clara, do you have any like I don't really have like the healings. I can do a good berry maybe, but I don't know if it'd fix this.
I don't know either. I guess I can try to cast heal on him. That would burn something for us later. I'll try to heal him, yeah.
You cast heal at first level. I assume it's not.
Second level.
Second.
My slots.
The 2 action.
Yeah, the two action. As my cleric nature works, I get 2 additional spell slots of the heal or harm font, and they're prepared in the slot of the highest level that I know. So I get 2 second levels. Or just heal.
You channeled healing magic into him. It doesn't seem to do anything. He, as you let the healing magic fade into him, he maybe is sleeping a little less fitfully, but his condition doesn't seem to change or improve at all.
This is not traditional physical ailment. Something has been done to him. Did not catch this naturally.
And we can't wake him up at all. He's like not waking up at all.
You'd like shake him, maybe give him like a little slap, but no reaction whatsoever.
Can I open an eyelid to see if like his eyes are rolled back, if they're I don't.
His eyes are darting around like crazy, like he's having some kind of nightmare.
Are they weird
Maybe
colored?
he was cursed.
They don't look different colors, no.
Maybe he was cursed.
I can't fix curses, but maybe one of the Vistani, maybe the priest can.
Yeah. we'll get Father Lucian and tell him what we discovered.
He comes in, takes a look at Milivoje, and for a moment he looks a little lost. Starts like praying under his breath, and says, "Oh, Milivoje, I'm sorry I didn't believe you. I don't know what to do about this. I'm not a cleric. I'm a priest."
Terra, seeing his nervousness,
He's a very old man that seems a little lost at the moment.
she'll take a hand. She'll take a hand.
Listen. Whatever happens here, you did not cause it. You are going to take care of him. You are going to do your best to take care of him. I promise you, we'll try to figure out what is going on. This illness is not normal. Neither is the illness of the child in the orphanage. We will find an answer. You will protect him in the meantime, okay?
Right, of course. I will pray for him and you that the morning Lord will see you through this trial.
Of course. One step at a time. You cannot do everything for him. All you can do is your best.
He just sits next to Milivoje's bed and is praying under his breath. Jessica looks kind of a little scared in the corner.
Alright, I'll go comfort the child.
You go over to comfort him, and he's like, "Is he contagious? Is he going to be alright?"
Think he's had a spot of bad luck? Someone or something has targeted him.
Both of these. Sorry, go ahead.
What did you say?
So both of these kids have had interactions with Arabelle. And if he works at the orphanage, he has too.
Yeah. So,
Clara she'll put an arm around the little guy, and she'll be like,
you're going to look for someone who may have answers on how to heal Milivoje. You keep an eye on him and Father Lucian. Make sure that Father Lucian is taking care of himself too. You do that for me?
Yes, of course. I already do that sometimes.
Good. You have to look out for each other. Yes. You have to look out for each other. And
okay.
Remember, if you don't take care of yourself, you cannot help others. That is sometimes hard to remember when you are worried. So, it might be a couple of days, it might be a couple of hours, but we're going to try to find some answers, because I believe a lot of this is connected. Do our best, okay?
Okay. I'll make sure that they're okay.
Good. I'm counting on you.
she'll ruffle his hair, and I guess we'll make to leave by then.
Smash cut to Ashai and Chance, and no, not Chance. Ashai and Prospero.
Aster.
No, Ashai and Aster. Where's Prospero? Was Prospero with them this whole time?
Yeah.
Prospero was
was there the
Chance
whole
and
time.
It was
Yeah.
just being very quiet.
Okay, that's fine. Who knew that the pirate would respect the sanctity of a church?
He wasn't. He was drinking in the corner.
Yeah,
he-
that communion wine be good. Dude.
Yeah. I knew it was going to go there. There goes Chance again. So, Aster and Ashai, you are making your way back to the Vistani camp.
Mm-hmm.
The guards at the gate almost seem like kind of like upset, like you just came in, now you're leaving again.
I glare.
The guard kind of like jerks back. He's like, it's fine. You can go through. It's just more work for us. Let's go. It's fine.
You are at work now. Do your jobs. And I walk out.
He looks like he's gonna say something, but Ashai is already like out the gates before anything comes out of his mouth. It's another quick walk back to the Vistani camp, and you see Ireena and Ireena.
While we're walking, just to Aster, are you processing it?
Aster squeezes your hand a little bit and looks up. Like, looks at you and doesn't really gesture. And then just shrugs. Keeps walking.
I do not know what it is like to mourn being dead for so long. I am sorry if I pushed you before you were ready.
Hearing you apologize, Aster stops and like tightens his grip on your hand, seeing if you stop too.
I think she keeps walking for a second and kind of jerks back, realizing you're not still going, and stops and is still letting you hold her hand and just is looking at you.
You stop. So he walks up to you and hugs you.
Oh. She kind of squats down awkwardly and tries to give you a hug, but it's not a very good hug. And she just pats you on the back a few times.
I'm reminded that Aster is 3 feet tall and Ashai is 5'8".
5'5", thank you.
Right, yeah, still short, remember that. After you make the attempt to reciprocate, he will say, albeit very quietly, "Thank you." And then waits for you to let go, because he's not going to go first. What the heck?
I think they play a game of hug chicken for a minute.
I'm content where I'm at. I know this is a struggle for you.
I think
you hear a voice because you've gotten close to the camp. You hear someone say, "Are you just going to stay there, or
is it? Is it a voice I recognize, or just some random person?"
You look back. It's one of the cowled figures. One of the people that lives in the houses around the base of the hill.
Yes, we should find Ireena and the chicken.
I'm nodding vigorously.
They're still up with the Vistani.
Oh, thank you.
You're quite welcome. And goes back into one of the buildings. Can both of you make me a perception check real quick?
But why? I have to find my character sheet.
Because it's fun. So I like to torture you all.
Stop.
I will not. Aster, you're busy having feelings. Ashai.
Rude!
You're busy having feelings. You catch a glimpse under the cowl as they turn away from you. And you see the same thing that Second Chance saw, though hasn't mentioned it to anyone. Very sharp, angular features under the cowl, and bandages over where their ear should be.
Have we heard of anybody like missing an ear that we're looking for?
No.
Both ears, not just one.
In the prophecy, it talks about an injured elf. It doesn't say anything about ears, right?
I can double check, but you guys have it.
I'm looking.
There's a mosquito in my room.
Kill it.
Try and find it. Sorry.
Make a makeshift flamethrower with a candle and airspray or hairspray.
A wounded elf has what you seek. He will part with the treasure to see his dark dreams fulfilled. That is what she said about an elf.
Mm.
Okay.
I make a note of which one he is and continue over to Ireena.
Ireena and Ireena are sitting and talking, I assume.
Ireena's there?
Yeah, she didn't go with them into town. She waited with you at the Vistani camp.
I had no idea.
Did you guys, like, do anything?
No.
Just making out in the middle of the camp.
Yeah, really. Just actively having sex in the middle of the fucking camp.
I never said sex. All right, I never said sex.
No, I think they're probably holding hands and talking.
Yay.
Very good. Yes. Ireena, you see Ashai and Aster come up the hill toward you.
Are there any? Is Arabelle's uncle still chilling with them, or?
I think he's in a different part of the camp at the moment, but like visible, you can see him. He's like fixing up one of the tents.
When we reach Ireena and Ireena, can I very like rudely, honestly, beckon him over? I don't think Ashai knows she's being rude, but it's just like,
oh yes, sorry, I'll stop what I'm doing, and walks over. But you can tell it's mostly in jest. Or I don't know what Ashai's social skills are, but
bad.
Yeah,
bad. Horrible.
not as
than
terrible
Aster's.
as Aster.
No, I think they're worse.
They're
At
on
least he's
different,
polite.
listen, different levels, different planes.
Comes over with kind of a forced smile on his face and says, Did you find anything?
Well, some of the others spoke to the children at the inn, and they mentioned something about her wanting to go for a swim.
Well, she does know how to swim, certainly, but odd. I can't imagine why she'd say she needed to go for a swim.
I don't think there is any explanation, but I believe we are going to go to the lake to the north to check. I had another question. I look back at the person you just pointed out.
Cloaked figure.
Who is the one who is missing ears?
I'm not certain it's my place to tell their story.
Was he an elf?
Make a diplomacy check.
Aw, Beans, why me?
Because you asked.
But just tell me.
Aw, dang.
Oh, I got +0 friends.
He says, just shakes his head. I'm sorry, it's not my story to tell. If you want to know, and if they are willing to share, you could speak with Kasimir Velikov. He's the leader of the people that live here, so to speak.
Is he referring to the person I just pointed out, or like is that whose name?
He just kind of gestures in that direction.
Okay.
From the way he's talking about it, you gather that he is not the only one with this injury.
You said there was a clear distinction between cloaked people in the Vistani camp and not cloaked people?
The cloaked people live in the ring of houses that are actually built into the base of the hill. The Vistani have their own little camp on top of the hill.
Okay, so the cloaked people are not Vistani.
Correct.
Got it. Okay.
Were we meant to like grab Ireena and Reina and bring them back and like meet somewhere, or were they gonna come?
That was the plan, yeah. That you would like meet halfway and then go to the lake, I think.
I just regard them very quickly. We're going to investigate the lake. We came to get you, but I would like to investigate that further before we leave.
What?
There was a man who was missing ears.
Alright. And then we're headed to a lake because you'd like to go swimming?
I was standing in front of you and I just explained that to the child.
I thought you beckoned him over!
Yeah, to stand near you and everybody.
Oh. Okay, got it. Okay, never mind, I'm following.
Too busy kissing Ireena.
I'm not kissing Ireena! Leave me alone!
Ew.
I
should just this.
We'll find I don't know, whoever's in charge. The leader he just mentioned.
You knock on like one of the doors and ask like who's take me to your leader, and one of them gestures to like the next door over, which you go to, knock on, and the door opens. It does look like the same one that said something to you just a little bit earlier. He looks at you and says, sorry, was there something else I could help you with?
Could we come in and speak for a moment?
I suppose. Opens the door and lets you in. The house that you are led into is a bit more comfortable than the one that you went into, the carpenter's one. It's still like a hovel. It's not a nice place, but it's slightly nicer than the other one. It's the first word that comes to mind is comfortable. There is a small fireplace in the back with a fire going that gives the room a very warm environment. You see there's a nice bed and a cooking area. There's a small vestibule that you see a number of wooden statuettes standing in a bunch of small cubby holes, and on the opposite wall you can see the tapestry of a forest. He leads you in and says, I apologize, I don't have anywhere for you to sit, but how may I help you?
This may seem rude of me to just ask out of nowhere, but are you of elfish descent?
I feel I have to ask why.
Ireena is with me? Is that a thing that
Ireena,
happened?
if
Sure.
you let them in with you, and Ireena
Yeah.
and Astra, yeah.
We had a curious introduction to Barovia. Speaking with...
You can see him, and he gives a very, very dark chuckle and says, yes, you would not be the first.
We were given a number of prophecies by one of the Vistani elders. And you perhaps meet the description of one, so I am asking. Because I very much want to leave this place, if I can.
In that, I suppose we are like... Yes, I am of elfish descent. Madame Ava's word carries quite a lot of weight.
Does everyone here know Madame Ava?
We do. The Vistani are kind to us when very few people are.
Well, she mentioned to us a wounded elf with dark dreams.
We are all wounded, but I believe I'm the only one with dark dreams as of late. Darker than usual, at least.
Literal dark dreams. Okay, gotcha.
He pulls back his cowl, and you see a very beautiful elven face that is marred very obviously by the fact that he has no ears. There are not even really bandages. What you thought were bandages are just sort of like a sort of wrap around his head to like cover it almost. Long black hair, and again wearing very different style of clothing from the rest of the Barovians that you've met so far. And he says, "My name is Kasimir. What exactly did Madame Ava send you to me for?"
I keep closing that page I have all my notes on. She said you have what we seek, but was not specific. Right now we are in pursuit of Rudolf van Richten.
I'd love to meet the man. Sorry, things feel like they're getting out of order. I've been having dreams of my sister. She died several hundred years ago. I dream of her often. Patrina. I've had dreams of her before, but they were very clearly dreams. I can only describe it as her spirit calling out to me.
You said they were dark.
Before she died, there was a place that she learned many dark and eldritch magics that corrupted her soul. So the elders believed. But I feel that she's changed, that her spirit languishing for these many long years. All I want to do is to bring her back.
You want to bring her back?
She's my sister. I loved her.
I am not judging. How do you think you're going to go about doing that?
You seem very, in some ways, knowledgeable about some of the ways of Barovia. The Lady Strahda, least of all. Do you... You say you are looking for Van Richten. Why?
I look at the other three. And back at him. We were asked to find him, and he may also have a personal connection to someone here. And he seems to know many things.
I'm going to ask you to make a deception check. Because you are definitely withholding information.
I'm withholding, I'm not lying.
I know you're not lying, but you are withholding information.
Was that supposed to be blind? Because don't make me roll
Yes,
blind.
please.
No, but it's the high number!
Doesn't matter, it's gone.
It's rude!
Looks at you. Gives you a very narrow look and says, Madam Ava sent you to me. And Madam Ava knows more than I do, so there is... I believe her soul is trapped within the castle. But that is not where the knowledge to bring her back to life would be. There is a place to the south of Barovia, near the mists to the south of this land. There is a temple where she learned her dark magics. I believe there we will find magics to bring her back. And given that you wish not to stay here any longer than you must needs, then hopefully there might be something there to let you leave as well.
Thank you for your candor. There's someone else I am looking for in this land. So forgive my question. If I may ask, what happened to you? Because
it is
She takes off her cloak and shows her nubs.
It is a bit of a story. Might be best for a different time. It sounds like you have some very... it sounds like you have something to do that's a bit short on time. Possibly. We're not going anywhere. If you need to take care of that, you can come back here afterwards.
Yes. I suppose you're right.
But Arabelle is very precious to the Vistani, and I think we would all be worse off if she was no longer here.
Well, I hope that we can bring her back to you.
Best of luck. Nods and walks you to the door and lets you leave. And that, I think we're going to take a break right here. Good time to take a break. We'll be back in 10 minutes, so see you all back at 11:15. 3.
Oh, I already did it.
Oh, hi! Welcome back. So, we jump back in as Ashai, Reina, and Ireena and Aster are leaving the hovel of Kasimir.
Shai is like hurriedly putting her cloak back on, a little embarrassed. Just walking out.
I don't recall. I think you showed Reina before. Did you show anyone else? Or
no, showed Reina.
okay, so that would be the first time that Aster and Ireena would have seen the nubs on your back. Very clearly, like the remnants of what used to be wings.
Reina's just gonna put a hand on Ashai's shoulder when she sees the embarrassment. Just like look at her, like nod her head, like just making sure she's okay.
She doesn't acknowledge you, but she doesn't like shake you off. So.
Aster grabs your hand again.
Oh. Let's go meet the others and find this child.
It's not that far again. You meet the rest of the party as they're like leaving the walls of Vallakovich, probably.
Did you all find anything at the church?
I'll just point to Clara.
Yes, it was a bit concerning, actually.
And she'll share the information about the boy.
Oh.
Something supernatural is hitting the people of Vallakovich. Not a surprise to any of us, I don't think, but we need to find Arabelle.
Yes. I believe we also found someone Madame Eva was speaking of.
Really? Who?
The wounded elf.
Is he hostile? Friendly? Are you okay?
Oh, you're fine.
Chance will look at you. Was he cloaked?
Yes. He knew Madame Eva. He was having dreams about his sister.
He's the one who sold me the stuff.
You think it was a different one?
Oh, it's not the same guy?
No. There were a number of what you assume now are elves that live in the number of hovels around the Vistani camp. This one is different from the one that was the carpenter.
Okay.
I think we can talk to him more once we find Arabelle. He also seemed very concerned with finding her.
We should probably head to the lake then. I think that's maybe our best bet.
To be very important to many people.
Important, or I'm worried maybe someone thinks she's dangerous.
There's a phrase where I come from. It takes a ship to raise a mast. I'm assuming the same thing could be implied with a village and a child, but you know, I don't really know.
I look at Reina. I'm like,
well,
I think
we go look at the lake?
It's fine. You all head to the north. What's up?
Hello.
Hello.
hello. Oh,
There she goes.
I have no idea what's going on with my connection, but it keeps kicking me off like every 5 seconds.
No worries. as long as you can still hear us and we can hear you, that's the main thing. So you all leave, you kind of circle around to the north of Vallaki and find a trail that leads to the north. The trail is not terribly long, considering the lake is almost visible from the town, if not for a couple of the mountains that wind and weave. It's going on late afternoon by this point, starting to get a little bit darker. The trail is muddy. Doesn't seem like from recent rain, but you can see a fair amount of foot traffic that leads down this trail. You gathered. It's very near. Perhaps people go there fishing or any other reasons. It only takes about an hour before you start to see the lake. At the foot of a mountain, nestled in the misty forest, is a large lake. The water is perfectly still and dark, reflecting the black clouds overhead like a monstrous mirror. Pulled up along the south shore, you see 3 small rowboats, and a 4th boat can be seen in the middle of the lake with a lone figure sitting in it, fishing pole in hand.
Do we see any footprints or like maybe childlike footprints or?
Make a perception check. Anyone who wants to look, and secret.
Can you make one for me?
I will.
Thank you.
Chance and Prospero. You take a close look. You guys are kind of hustling. Since Arabella's been missing, you don't know what exactly has happened to her. Ireena, too. You see no childlike footprints, but there's only one set of fresh footprints that look very heavy, booted. And what looks like maybe something they were dragging, like a bag or a sack of some kind. It leads up to where you see the 3 boats are moored, and there's a 4th mooring post that is currently empty. You look out to the lake, and as you guys come up to the shore of the lake, the person in the boat seems to notice you. Ireena, Prospero, and Chance, you see, even from this distance, he's a few hundred feet out into the lake. You can see him sort of start to panic. He drops the fishing pole, and you see him stand up, and he pulls this sack out of the bottom of the boat. The 3 of you, with your sharp eyes, can see the sack is wriggling.
I jump in.
You all watch Second Chance just immediately jump into the lake.
Wait, we got the boat! To the boat!
I shoot him. I try to shoot him.
He's several hundred feet out. What's the
Warning
range?
shot.
What's the range of your weapon?
Oh god. Let's see. Inventory. The flintlock. Range 40 feet.
So he is 400 feet out. So that's 10 times the normal range. You can still take the shot, but it's going to take 10 penalties for distance.
Jeez.
Ireena, help me with this!
How?
Oh.
What would I need to roll? And
You would make an
Reyna's gonna
attack
walk over
roll.
and help Clara.
I will also
We're
start
getting the
helping.
boat ready.
Hold on, so-
what would I need to roll? What's the DC?
Well, So the way it works is there is a -2 penalty for each additional increment beyond the first. So that's a -20 to hit.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna make that. I'm good. I'm not that good.
Okay. So the rest, you see the rest of them start to untie one of the boats.
I will say, you see Ashai looking out at this and kind of like brace herself to like she's gonna jump up, and then realizes that's not something she can do, and then goes over to help with the boat.
What the hell?
Chance is just breaststroking it to her.
As you all are starting to do this, you see the figure out on the boat as you finish tying everything off. You see him rest and throw the bag out onto the lake, and it splashes into the water.
Can I?
It floats for a moment, the air seemingly trapped inside. You hear suddenly a scream come from within the bag.
Of course.
Someone's gotta get the bag.
Can I cast? How far am I? Like, how far am I?
At this point, if you jumped in immediately and you're like using all of your actions to move, I'd say you've cleared 100 feet by this point.
How far can I cast Protector Tree?
What's the range on it?
I don't know. I can't look at my thing.
It requires ground, though. If you're in the lake.
But the lake has a ground.
Yeah, but if you can see it, I think you need sight.
It says... technically it says it just grows on an unoccupied square within range. It doesn't say anything about it having to be in ground. If it's in soil, after the spell's duration it remains, but there's nothing that says it has to be on Earth immediately. But the range is only 30 feet.
Shit. I just keep swimming. I'm just dashing, or using all my actions to go.
Okay. Just keep swimming. The rest of you, you've all jumped into a couple of the boats, I assume, at this point? You see the man in the boat is looking out at you all with very poorly concealed terror in his eyes, and starts like yelling at the bag, which you hear the scream within suddenly cut off as it like goes underwater. It's still kind of floating, but like you hear like the voice cut off by the water.
Does the man look familiar as we're getting closer?
You think you might have seen him in the inn. If you did, he looked... he's this very heavy-set man with like a very full beard. He was kind of almost blackout drunk when you saw him there. And right now is, you know, whatever.
Champion's like, you're going in next.
He looks at you as you all are like rowing your way towards him, and he like waves his fishing pole at you. He's like, "Stay back! This has to happen!"
I just flip him off if I keep swimming.
I just pull my gun out. Yeah, sure, bud. Oh yeah, that fishing pole's gonna work real well for you once this gets in range.
What? Who's going after the bag? Is anyone going after the bag?
I'm going after the bag. I'm going after the bag.
Okay.
Well, I'm on the boat. I'm helping row.
Okay.
You know.
Okay. With your little rat hands.
This is if everybody can make me athletic checks to see like how fast you're going. This is essentially a skill challenge.
Can you roll for me, please?
I can roll for you. Yes.
Blind?
This can be public. This can be public. It's fine.
Okay, wait. Can you clarify something with me real quick?
What's up?
I have assurance athletics.
So you can choose to take a 10
I can just choose to take a 10 plus my proficiency bonus.
plus your proficiency. Yeah.
You got a fucking 16, lads.
And I think I still have 2 hero points. Or
You do.
something.
You rolled a
Yeah.
20.
oh,
Wow,
cool,
so
awesome.
I got an unnatural 20.
Okay, well, motherfucker. Can I take assurance now, or does it have to be before the fact?
It has to be before the roll. You do have
It
a
does.
hero point though.
Okay, I'm gonna use my hero point.
Yeah, you have to choose before you make the roll if you want to do assurance.
Okay.
You
know
better. Chance, by virtue of being a very athletic cat, and not burdened by a boat, is making very, very fast time toward the sinking bag. The rest of you are also making fairly good time. Who's in each boat together?
I think I'd probably be rowing in one with Ireena in the other boat rowing, and then Aster helping one of us out.
Yeah, that.
I assumed we were all in one, but I guess I'll be with the
I
shot.
did too.
I also thought we were all
They're-
in one.
They're not large enough for like 5
Okay.
people.
Yeah, it's
They're,
like a
they're
two-person.
small rowboats.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like a 2-person.
All right,
I'm
so
just, like,
Clara and
madly
Reyna,
rowing.
And then Prospero, a shy Aster.
Yeah.
I'm just picturing
Am
like
I-
the rat is holding onto it and it's just like going really
Oh, yeah, big
fast.
one up.
Am I close enough to cast the Tree of Protection?
Not quite yet.
Dang it.
Is very far out, but you're getting closer. Chance is definitely leading the fray. The rest of you very close behind. As you get very close, can everybody make me another athletics check?
Here we go.
I'm just taking the 10. I don't care.
Okay, you can take the 10.
Hey, I
Oh,
like
is that
that.
what,
That's
a 12?
good. That's good. That's
Another
good.
lot of good rolls, and Reyna with a nat 20.
Wait, quick question.
What's up?
Is Ireena there?
Yes.
She's in the
She
boat with
best
me and
be
Reyna.
helping-
Yeah.
She best be helping row.
She's, you guys are rolling plenty well enough. The boat with Reyna starts to catch up to Chance. Chance, as you get close, you get close enough to start to cast your spell, but it is close enough for this man to swipe down and try and hit you.
She'll just let him hit her. It's fine.
because it might disrupt your concentration.
Okay.
That's a 19 to hit,
That
which
hits.
your AC is 18. But his to hit wouldn't be that big, so it doesn't disrupt your concentration of your spell.
Okay.
You cast Protector Tree.
Literally underneath the bag to essentially grow up and catch the bag, so it's out of the water,
And
hopefully flip the
it
boat.
manifests almost as like driftwood, that just like you cast it under the water, buoyant enough to like pop up, and you do manage to catch the bag as it slips under the water and just like push it back up. The man is just still like whapping at you with the fishing pole and looks back.
Would it smack the boat since it's essentially like a tree? Would
No,
it try to-
it's only like 5 feet wide, and
Okay,
he threw it like
okay.
away from the boat. But he looks back as you like cast it, and the bag rises out of the lake. He immediately like drops the fishing pole and just like drops to his knees.
Now that the bag's out of the water, I'm gonna swim to it and open it up.
He's gonna do something.
Am I within range at this point?
Yeah, you're definitely within range at this point.
Okay. Well, can I just jump to the boat at this point?
Yeah, you could jump over to it.
Right. I'm gonna look over at Ashai and go, "You got rope."
That's a good question.
Raina does.
Yes, yeah, of course I have rope. I just take it out and toss it to you.
I take the rope and I jump over to the other boat and I proceed to just be like, stay the fuck down, and then I just tie him up.
He doesn't even try and fight you as he looks and sees like the bag has been safely lifted out of the lake. You see him just start crying and you just hear him muttering under his breath, sorry.
Does it look like he was like magically compelled or anything, or is he just a douchebag?
Make a perception check.
I can,
Blind?
Secret?
Chance will be working with the bag, trying to get it open.
Assume it's blind otherwise.
Can we grab the bag and put it on the boat?
Chance is opening it up on the tree, because it's currently on the tree.
A shy, and Prospero, you look at him, he doesn't look like he's been magically altered or compelled in any way. You just see like this desperate look on his face. And you even hear like his stomach growling so loudly that you can hear it. As Chance like opens the bag and you see Arabelle with what looks like what was a rag tied around her mouth, which has like fallen around her neck, and her arms and legs are tied in the bag.
She'll use her claws to cut the rope that she's tied with.
Very easily.
Hand me the bag.
Let me get it off of her first.
Arabelle just like as soon as you like free her bindings, immediately just like latches on to Second Chance.
A little busy.
Chance, hand me the bag.
I'll get the bag and I'll toss it to him.
You throw the bag to him.
I just put it over his head, just like kind of just cinch it tight.
Why is this something you had to do?
I say we kill him.
I am already holding my
want
sword to
answers
his
first.
neck.
Answers first.
Answers first.
I'm not gonna
Aster
kill him
speaks.
yet.
First.
Yeah, Aster speaks.
Answer
No!
First. Right.
Start
And
talking.
I mean, we have a boat here. Let's just get to dry land first before we like.
What did Aster say?
I just said no!
Okay.
You gotta like kill him.
And boat. Can someone get a boat over here? She's not gonna let me go. I can't swim with her.
I'm here. Hold on a minute. You can roll back in the other boat, right?
Everybody shuffles into a bunch of the boats, and now that you're not like fleeing across the lake, you make it back to dry land very easily.
Chance looks like a drowned rat.
Oh.
Hey now. That's
That's
That's appropriation.
As I dock, I look at Raina and I go, boy, could you carry him and bring him to the tree over there?
She lifts him up and puts him over her shoulder.
Thank you. So as soon as he goes to the tree, I just kind of bound him to the tree.
When Raina puts him down, it is rough. Like, she hits the fucking ground.
Sure.
She,
Yeah.
like, throws his ass.
And I take the bag off. Alright then. I pull my gun out. I'm gonna play a game.
What?
We're gonna play Is It Loaded or Not?
I lean over to Claire and go, what are the rules for that?
he just looks up at you with kind of a little bit of there's you can see like tears streaming down his face.
I go, I'll start, and I pull the trigger, knowing that this one is empty. And I'll go.
He flinches almost despite himself, but doesn't like try and like jump out of the way or anything.
This is brutal!
I pull another pistol out because it's a one-shot pistol, so you know you gotta carry a couple.
Of course.
Where are you keeping those threats from?
All right then. Now it's your turn, and you're gonna answer the question first. What were you doing with the girl?
I was going to sacrifice her to the lake. I heard the Vistani are lucky, and I was just so hungry. I haven't had anything. I haven't caught any fish in months.
Eat vegetables or something.
Hey,
I'm a
pull the
fisherman.
trigger. And it's not loaded.
He flinches again.
At this point, while they're yelling at him, Clara has taken Arabelle from Chance, and she's just kind of
I don't know if
her.
she's gonna let her go. Has she let go of
Well, you
Chance
can
yet?
go together.
I'd say by this point, let's see. Yeah, she's let go of Chance once.
Okay, she'll pass her on to Clara. It's like
Clara's holding on to her, comforting her. Probably taken off one of the many layers she's wearing and just wrapped something around her.
Reyna's standing right behind Prospero, intimidatingly.
Oh, I'm like, I think we're on either side of him.
yeah, Chance is coming to join the intimidation party.
Clara is keeping the child away from the violence. She's seen enough.
That's
The
just
child
with
has
you.
seen enough.
Chance,
I pull up
Well,
my third
no.
gun. And I
Prospero.
go,
Alright, fucking
and I go,
Zorro from One Piece.
Listen,
How
you're
about-
gonna have a lot of guns.
Not sponsored.
Who told you?
Sponsored.
Who told you that sacrificing a Vistani to the lake would bring back fish?
I don't know. It's just they're lucky. I thought I could take the luck for myself.
So you don't care about anybody else, just yourself.
I'm starving.
You can
No,
eat
but
other
not-
things besides fish.
That's not a good enough answer, and I fire, and it is loaded, but I miss intentionally. Shucks.
You're getting
I
the
guess I'm a bad
sense.
shot.
So I'm saying this for second chance's sake because you keep saying you just eat something else. He's a fisherman. He makes his trade with fish. If he can't fish, he makes no money and can't buy anything. Is what he's essentially saying.
Then maybe find, like, if one thing runs out, try something new. Don't kill somebody.
I have to do something with the. I've been in the stocks twice already because I've been so miserable.
Listen, I don't like how
Nobody will
Vallakovich run anyways, so at least we're in agreement on that.
I don't care anymore. Do whatever you want. This
I say
place
we
is
let
a
him go.
miserable loss.
Chance
I
is
say we
gonna.
let
let him go.
I say we let him starve. Live out the rest of his
No.
days tied to this
He's already
tree.
at that. He's already at that point. I say we let him live with what he did. He's already miserable. It's either the stocks or the gallows for you, I see.
He doesn't even say anything. He just seems lost in his own despair.
Actually, you still got a couple of those good berries on you.
I do.
Give me one.
I was actually gonna see if we wanted to do that. I'll give you one.
You see this, lad? This'll fill your stomach up. It's not a false filling. It'll just fill your stomach up. I know it doesn't quite make sense, but trust me, it works. Now, I can give you, and I wave it in front of his face, I can give you this. You're gonna give me as much, me and my compatriots as much information as possible. For example, you work on the water here, right?
Aye.
Right then. How long have you been without fish?
Weeks, almost 2 months.
What happened in that time?
I don't know. They just aren't biting anymore.
What changed?
I don't know. You think if I knew, I wouldn't do something about it?
What changed in Vallaki?
Nothing. Nothing changed in Vallaki. Vallaki is as terrible as it's ever been.
But has it always? When did the old Burgomaster die?
Years ago.
Okay. Can I do a nature check of this area? See if there's anything off.
That's off in what way?
Like, I don't know if the Pathfinder has it. It's like in tune with nature or whatever is
Sure.
a druid. Yeah, I don't know how that works with Pathfinder.
Your wild empathy lets you make an impression on animals, but that's about it as far as I can tell. You look around. Nothing seems immediately like obviously off to you. There's no sign of any broken, like any. There's no sign of plague or pestilence of any kind. The shrubbery here looks healthy. The only thing that really seems off, if anything, is how placid the lake is. It is the only ripples in it are coming from the movement of the boats on the dock. Even when you were swimming through it, it was so dark that you couldn't see more than a few feet underwater. If Arabelle had gone down and really broken the surface before you had saved her, it would have been very difficult to see her to try and rescue her. You don't know if that's something wrong with the lake or anything, but it's the only thing that you see that doesn't seem quote-unquote natural in the area.
Right, the lake, the water level has gone down?
No.
But it's stagnant.
It's you don't get the sense that it's like gone bad or anything. You don't see like if there was something wrong with the lake, you would expect to see like dead fish on the shore. You don't see anything like that.
Were there any fish attached to the like how tall is the protector tree currently above water?
It's already been longer than the spell lasts, so it has like dissipated since it's not attached to any soil. It was essentially it was kind of like driftwood the way it grew, essentially.
Does Prospero have like 10 more guns on him, or is that like...
I only carry about like 4. I was down to my last one actually.
Oh, okay.
If you want to eat, keep answering the man's questions.
You've got any for him?
Make an intimidation check.
Me or Prospero?
Either of you at this point.
What about both? Why is my HP 12?
I don't know. One of you could aid the other.
How?
Well, we were fighting the wolves.
Oh, that's right.
Secret.
Secret. I have to roll to aid. Do I have to have be trained or something in?
No, you just have to. The aid is just however trained you are in it determines how much you help them.
Well, I'm trying to help him, so I'll try and aid.
Okay. So
Oh.
make an aid check.
Blind or public?
The aid can be public.
Okay, so blind. Got it.
The intimidate would be blind. You do not aid the roll, unfortunately.
I twied.
The DC is always 20 for aid.
Of course.
But there's no malice to it because it wasn't a crit fail. Prospero, this entire thing has been very intimidating, as you can very well guess. You know, he's doesn't seem like he has a very firm grasp of a strong desire to live at this point. But your repeated attempts at getting some reaction out of him does seem to stir him into no longer being just complacent. And he kind of says sure, what ask more questions. I don't know how many meals I'll have after this one, but at least I could die with a full stomach.
There's an entire camp of Vistani, and I don't think they're going to take too kindly to you kidnapping one of their kind and trying to murder one of them. So, why did you kidnap this one? There's Vistani children around. She just hangs out in the town. She was just convenient pickings, is all.
Yes. She was alone.
I want to.
Coming out of the inn.
I want to look at Arabelle. Arabelle, can you explain why you told the Martikov children that you had to go for a swim?
She looks up at you with her pale blue eyes and says, "Well, I was right, wasn't I?"
Arabelle, do you have a gift of foresight?
You're just now picking up on that?
Oh, I love this girl.
So snappy, and she almost died. What the heck?
Knew something was special about you. We just weren't sure what.
Can't always control it, but it comes and goes, and I guess something in me wanted to make sure that someone could find me.
You knew.
Why did you
Protect yourself?
Why didn't you just stay in the inn?
I don't always know exactly why I say what I say. Sometimes I just say it.
So you didn't know this was gonna happen? Or you did know?
Yes.
I'm gonna turn back to the guy. I'm gonna get in his face. Be like,
His breath, alcohol.
yeah. It's like, I understand.
Oh, so he can afford alcohol, but
That's
he
what I was
can't
gonna say. I was
afford
like, he had money to drink, but no money for food. Whatever.
Maybe he's.
I understand desperation. I understand having very few options, but I'd never take a life. Just because your current way of life is no longer working does not mean you can't find another option. Why don't you go to the inn and instead of drinking your life away, maybe work for them. Work in the kitchen there. They'll feed you. And they'll pay you for a good day's labor.
Doesn't matter anymore.
Why not?
Just looks at the 3 guns on the ground.
Yeah, and not one of them has hit you yet. He's not heartless, even though he might. I don't actually know if he still has a heart. Prospero, do you have a heart?
Still there, just beats every hour.
Okay. He still has a heart. I believe in second chances. Sorry, it's not a play on my name. But yeah, okay. But it really is up to these two now whether they allow you to have one.
Arabelle,
So you truly have to
I'll,
have
call
a
the kid over.
reason.
I'll walk her over.
She looks at him. Looks back at you all. Just kind of goes, I guess I won't tell if you won't tell.
Kid's baller.
I'm gonna look back at the guy. I'll look at Prospero. I'll be like, you have 2 jobs now. Find yourself a job, probably go work at the inn, and make sure no harm ever comes to Arabelle. Because she just saved your life. What is it called? A life debt? I think that's what I've heard of them before. I don't know.
He doesn't react too much. Do you like release him, or are you just like telling him?
I mean, he's still tied to the tree.
Yeah,
I haven't
no.
let him go yet.
He's... You haven't... He's kind of... not in shock, but there's just too much going on, and he clearly doesn't know how to react to any of this going on. He looks like he's just accepted death at this point.
Prospero, give him the good berry.
But on that beautiful, satisfying story note, I do have to be up tomorrow, and I do need to sleep, so I'm gonna leave the rest of the game to y'all.
I was going to say, like, as you decide, and Arabelle decides to let him live and not tell anybody what's transpired here today, and Bluto decides what to do with his life. That is where we'll end for tonight.
But hear me out. What if we played for 2 more hours?
Hear me out. I have
Literally,
to get ink
please.
tomorrow.
We can play for 3 more hours next week.
It's not the same!
But for now, thanks everybody for joining us. This has been Fates Foretold, Curse of Strahd et Terra. You can find all of our stuff down there and in the chat, and we'll catch you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.